Anyone? Christy.
That's not me, is it? Oh. Oh, yeah, it is me. You're right. Oh, gosh.
Unless someone else did one.
No. Oh, look at I'm recording. I didn't even know. Hi.
Oh, don't record me.
I'm not. So, it's Tuesday.
Oh, no.
I just thought I'd show you what we're doing. We haven't really gotten started with quilting yet, but
I need another Christy.
Colleen thought it would be a good idea to start labeling our quilt block exchange. And so this is what we're doing right there. Say hi, Cole.
This is Christy's stuff. Don't look at me. I have a stain down my shirt. This is also
Kim's going to hide her stain down her shirt. She enjoyed her lunch. I didn't show our lunch. Kim, where'd you go to lunch today?
Paces.
Paces had a sandwich.
Yeah.
Mom, what did you have for lunch today?
They had hamburgers on our leftover buns from our barbecue last night.
Oh, nice. Colleen, what did you have for lunch today?
Mickey D's.
Me too. I had Mickey D's too, but we didn't really show food. Okay, so here's our blocks, and she's going to label them. And then here, I'm keeping track of who's done it. If you remember correctly, I got yelled at a couple weeks ago, so we're trying to figure it out. Whose is whose and where we're at.
Gabby's.
Okay, I'll check it in a minute.
I'm all nervous.
Oh, that's my problem.
I don't know whose those are.
Ooh, they're cool though.
They are cool.
Oh, those are mine. Sorry, I was looking at my phone.
Another Christy, please. Oh, never mind. I got it. Oh, no, I don't. Another Christy, please. Yeah, good.
Yeah, those are cute. Cuter than mine.
They are cute. I was pleased with them.
And this one?
Nope, that's one of the girls. That's the same one.
It's the same one that she did for Kristen. I think that's Gabby. Because we had a conversation about her wanting to fussy cut that, and then she forgot, so she says, do I need to do it again? And I said, no, it's fine. Because she had 2 picture frames in it instead of just the one.
Oh, here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Okay. This must be Kim's because there's 3 in this pile. What? Look at it. What's the matter with it? I don't get it.
Colleen, what's been your favorite square that you've been making everybody?
Oh, you used mine?
Well, I tried. But I didn't know how.
What do you mean you didn't know how?
Well, I was guessing sizes.
And we didn't have your
And we
measurements.
didn't have your measurements.
Well, they're in my book.
Your
Oh, yeah.
book wasn't with you.
So mine ended up looking a little different. They're smaller. These little things are smaller.
So, Coach, do you remember when you were like, oh, yeah, right, 7.5, and I'm like, oh, 7.5 would have worked well because we did
You
6.5.
should try 6.5. It would look totally
Totally different. Do you remember our little conversations?
Oh,
that we were-
that's funny. I do love that block.
Obviously, not
That's why
enough
I
to
did
really
it.
recognize
Well,
it,
no.
but
But it looks cute.
It does look cute. I love it.
oh, funny.
It's way good.
And that's your other one that's cute.
I like
It's a
it.
little more simple.
See, I like them all, Kim.
And then there's the ugly one.
It's not ugly. It's not as ugly as mine for Nancy.
No, it is.
No, mine for
It's
Nancy.
just very plain.
is ugly.
Maybe you should embroider my name right in the middle.
So those are cool.
I just thought it would be fun to make one out of the one you were doing.
Yeah, because I love it. I do love that block.
So
Yeah,
we're
I bet
done,
you it's
and
probably-
there's the list. So we know who is done and who isn't done, who needs to be yelled at. Might need to be the girls, but we're going to not yell at them, I guess. Anyway,
Not yet, anyway.
not yet anyway. That was a fun little project we just did. And now we'll go sew.
Okay, is that what
Yes, it's much less noticeable. Oh gosh. Okay, so we're having show and tell again.
This is number.
Keep going.
This
One,
is
two,
your
three.
second one. Who'd you give the first one to?
Trisha.
Oh,
Oh my goodness,
That is cool.
That's beautiful.
that is beautiful.
I love the border.
Let's see the back. Oh, fun.
I just have to look at her design. We have a panto,
We have a
kinda
panto
like
very
that.
similar. Yeah.
Oh, but look how fun this is. In the
Yeah.
variegated thread.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see that.
See the variegated thread.
She's done the whole
Oh,
thing in
yeah.
variegated thread.
Middle's not.
The
Middle's not. It's in pinkish.
Oh, that is pretty.
Wow.
That's
That is
beautiful.
Well, this fabric
job,
looks
Darlene.
familiar.
Colleen's going to tell us her way of how she made
Okay,
her
Mom,
block.
this is what I do. Here is the pattern, and this has to be 2 inches. So I measure this like this, oops, and get that to 2 inches. Let's get it to 2 inches. Okay, it's still not quite. Okay, that's close. Okay.
That's close.
Okay, so then once it's at 2 inches, then I come along here and I measure this stuff. And sometimes I have to use this thing to measure things like this.
Now, how did you get your angle?
No, that's how I got my angle. So I got my angle. This isn't the exact one I did, but this is how I got my angle. I did this line across like this. And then I went, okay, that's 3 whatever inches. And then when I measured on the material, I did the same thing.
And how'd that work for you?
It worked good.
Really? What's Mom unpicking?
Anyway, that's how I do it. The end.
So she's fixing her own block.
Instead of printing off the templates.
Yes, because I can't print it from here.
Yeah, you can.
At home.
No, if you went on there, it would pick up hers because it's wireless.
Oh, but then it doesn't print the right size.
No, it probably would.
Let's try it. Let's do a little experiment.
Mine have all printed the right size. Now, granted, they've all been a little small. But the little
Okay.
measuring thing was correct.
This is the real one that I did. This was the real one that I did. So that's how I that's how I did that one, was I measured that the way I just showed you.
Okay, so we're going to pause it. We'll have her print it, and we'll get back with
Print
you.
it.
Okay, so Kim's getting her elephant done. I think this is her last little bit.
Well, look at that. Whoa.
Can't get any better matched up, I guess.
Well, we haven't opened it. But
It's taking Mom to help her hold it up. Good thing Colleen's not here sewing. She's just finishing up the last little bit. Done!
it's about 100 degrees in here.
It is 100 degrees in here. I have lots of sweat. Okay. They're checking.
He's not real good there, but I don't think I'm worried about it.
All right, lift him up. Look at the big reveal. Oh my heck! That looks so good. Love it. Well done.
Thanks. And now, Judy's gem.
Okay.
Okay, these are just a few little ideas about thread. You'll notice when you look at a spool of thread or a cone, some of them, well, the cones are usually all, and some spools are wound kind of in a crisscross pattern. If you look at it really closely, you can see that it's kind of a crisscross pattern, and then there's other spools that are wound just straight. You can tell it's just wound straight on the spool. If you have a thread that is wound straight, it needs to come off your sewing machine on a vertical thread pin.
Mm-hmm.
If it's one of the crisscross ones where they, you can see kind of the crisscross pattern, those need to come off on a horizontal thread holder
Okay.
because it keeps the thread from
twisting.
Anyway.
And most, like I know my machine has both.
Yes.
That kind of comes
Some
with
machines
most
do. Mine
machines.
does
Will
too.
have
Yeah.
2 different holders.
Most cones have, you can see that crisscross pattern, the way they're wound.
Right.
If you want a real fine thread that you want to blend, this is for doing quilting, you know, we're actually quilting the quilt. A real fine thread will blend and not show as much. If you want your quilting to show, and sometimes I don't, because my quilting sometimes isn't that good.
Not true.
But when you want, you know, your quilting to show, and you want to use a little heavier thread, maybe a medium thread. And the heavy thread is more for the ornamental, when you want real decorative, you're really adding embellishments, and you really want it to stand out. Then you want a heavier thread.
Tell them kind of like it's like 90 weight or 80 weight or 70 weight. Is that right?
That's what it is, a 50 plus. And with thread, the bigger the number, the finer the thread.
There you go.
And the way I remember that is that it takes more thread to make a certain weight. You know, if you have a pound of thread, if it's really light, fine thread, it takes a lot more thread to make a pound.
So a bigger number.
Yeah, so the bigger number is the finer the thread.
Okay.
And a 30 weight thread is a pretty heavy thread.
Pretty
A nice medium is about a 40 weight.
Okay.
We use, for quilting, when we don't want it to show, we use a fine silver thread that's called bottom line that we buy from Superior Thread. That blends really well. It blends with a lot of pastel colors.
A lot of nice, yeah.
And if you don't want it to, you know, you don't want the quilting to be really take away from the block patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the quilting, you want it to be the star, but sometimes you don't. Another thing about threads is you need to change your needle when you're changing your thread size. And if your needle is too big or too small, it can cause breakage and other problems if you don't use a needle that corresponds to your thread size. And I think that's all the notes I have on threads.
Perfect. Thanks, Mom.
You bet.
Okay, so that's our Tuesday. If you keep hearing the door open and close, that's Colleen. You're not on camera. Anyway, there's a couple things. So we've had a death in the family. My Aunt Luann died, who we loved. She lived in St. George, so we are having to travel to St. George this weekend. So unfortunately, our quilt show will have to be postponed. We were advertising and thinking we were going to do it this Saturday on the 3rd, but we will be down there. And so we will get back with you for our quilt show. But we hope you enjoyed our Tuesday. We've had a lot of fun today. And we'll see you next week. Okay, bye.